In this video, I'm talking about some of the biggest tips that nobody talks about on defense that'll actually help you get more stops, which means you're gonna win more games. By the end of this video, you're gonna learn at least one thing that's gonna actually help you. So, if that's something you wanna do, let's get into the video. This is one of the biggest things you're not doing on defense, and it's allowing people to just throw these underneath crossing routes on you over and over and over again. So, let's go to the play call screen, and let's first focus on what do we wanna call play call wise, okay? I don't care playbook. I don't care formation. This is a concept that's going to apply throughout everything, all right? We want to call a cover 3 or a cover 4. I don't care which of them, right? Cover 4 quarters is great. You know what else is great? Cover 4 palms. That's awesome. Also, cover 3 Buzz Mabel's cool. We can call cover 3 Sky, which is behind my face cam. Right now, let's go cover 3 Sky, and let's show this problem that we have. Here's my defense. We're going to snap this ball, and look who's wide open consistently. Zone coverage and man struggles to defend these underneath crossers, right? In routes, drags, slants, etc., etc. They get open in the middle, they get open on the sideline. What I want you to do on defense to defend these is press Y or triangle and go down on the right stick. Now, this has a hidden thing, a hidden adjustment that it makes. You may know that by shading our coverage underneath, Y or triangle down the right stick, it'll turn our flat zones into hard flats, right? And so what that our hard flat will do is if we try to throw this drag late, the hard flat will play it, right? You see that? He does a good job. Hard flats play about 0 to 4 yards off the line of scrimmage, right? Right here, we have a curl flat. We press wide triangle, go down the right stick. We get that hard flat again. There's a secret thing that's happening right here, though, that not everybody knows, and this is a big deal. I want you to pay attention to my yellow zone right here, who is Paterno, we'll call him. All right? That's the hook curl. He's the yellow zone. I'm not going to shade my coverage at all. I want you to watch how he plays. All right, boom, we go here. We throw this ball right in front of where he was, right? Number 44, that's who makes the tackle. We throw it right in front of him. If we press Y or triangle and go down on the right stick, watch where he goes this time. We snap the ball. We go to throw this again. Look who's right there to snag the ball. So while if you press Y or triangle shade underneath, the hook curl does not show any different, right? You see the hook curl right here? We shade it underneath. He looks exactly the same. He plays drastically different. When you shade this coverage underneath, he'll actually play about 4 to 5 yards off the line of scrimmage, defending underneath, meaning that on 4th and short, 3rd and short, or even in general situations where you're trying to play a little bit more underneath, he will do a great job. Right there, that was no shade. I didn't shade, he left it open. This time, I shade my coverage underneath. Guess who's going to defend this bad boy? It's going to be old boy number 44. He's going to be there, make the tackle, potentially get an interception, and then flex on him. You want to shade your coverage underneath. I do this as a base consistently. Again, though, out of cover 3 or cover 4 is my favorite. Now, if you like what we're talking about in this video and you want full defensive schemes that are designed to give you the best play calls possible and the best tips to actually help you get more stops, which means you'll win more games, check out my website, civil.gg. It's linked in the top description, and you'll be joining over 2,000 active members who are actually winning more games with our schemes. Right now, using code CIVIL30, you can get 30% off everything we're doing, which will give you instant access to everything you need to actually start winning. Click the link in the top description and use code CIVIL30, get that 30% off, and start winning now. This is one of my favorite adjustments that I can give you. How many people have given up little easy quick dots like this before? Your opponent comes out in some kind of wide set, might be trips, might be 5 wide, something, whatever. They snap the ball, and they throw this as fast as they possibly can, and it's just always open. Easy solution for you, okay? We're actually going to go into our coaching adjustments on defense. Let me first just call our offensive play. Click the right stick in. I don't care what defensive playbook or formation you're in. We're going to click right stick in. I'm going to scroll down, move my face cam over, and what we're going to find here is the safety depth. And we want to go one tick on the D-pad to the left and get them close. That's going to align them closer to the line of scrimmage. Now, you can also put safety width at pinch. That's going to bring them in closer. I like to combine these two. You don't have to, though, all right? Then on defense, we're going to call a cover 4. You could also do cover 3, but we'll call cover 4 because it could be even better against this. And now, we're going to do that same tip we did in the last segment where we're going to press Y or triangle, go down the right stick, because we want to actually defend against any kind of drag routes. But now, let's throw this face cam back where it needs to be, and let's snap this ball and try to snap throw this RB route. Bang! Really hard to do that, right? Because the safety is starting so far down. If he's starting back here, right, because safety, the close alignment is bringing him down, but default, he'd be back here. And so if we snap this ball now, notice, right? Easy throw. And you can actually tell where he would start if I press, right? Notice that's where he would usually start up there, right? So we go here. Of course it's wide open. But now we're going safety pinch and safety with close to where now, whoops, I didn't mean to do that actually. To where now though, he's starting so low that they snap this ball, they try throwing this. That is a tough throw to be able to fit. And you know what? If they're actually fitting that ball in consistently, I'm gonna let them because you wanna know why? You can't fit this throw in every single time and hold on to it. You just can't. And if they want to consistently throw that, we are just a simple, we're using a middle backer. If they're throwing it that fast, they are begging to get picked off by our user defender. This defensive tip is actually focused on something I need you to stop doing because it's giving up easy one-play touchdowns, which none of us want to do. All right, on offense, we're going to play verticals. Just pay attention to my left outside wide receiver. On defense, I am in man-to-man, all right? And not only am I man-to-man, but I'm in off man-to-man, meaning that instead of being pressed up on the receivers, my DBs are off a few yards, which isn't naturally bad, but it does open up a potential issue. Watch what happens on the left side right here. We snap this ball, and the DB runs down, allowing the outside wide receiver to run past him. That is because in this game, if you ever run off man coverage, okay, that's what this is, off man. Everyone's off, but they're in man to man still. And you happen to shade your coverage underneath. Let's say it's 4th and 1 or something, right? You press wide triangle, you shade your coverage underneath. Well, the DBs are going to fire down at the snap, and it's going to leave open everything above them, right? We snap this ball. You see the two left DBs both fire all the way down, leaving a one-play touchdown open really easily, right? We do something like this right here, right? Let's say we're using that deep middle blue now. Well, guess what? One-play touchdown. So you just have to be aware that if you're running off-man coverage, you cannot shade your coverage underneath. Another place that this plays a big factor in is in the play called cover 2 man. A play like cover 2 man comes naturally shaded underneath, and while you will be pressed up on this play, notice that my receivers are not playing off, or my DBs are not playing off, they're all lined up over the wide receivers. You have safety help over top stock on this play, but if you user this guy, or he's just in a bad position, that high safety, look what can happen. Even though you're pressed and you get that press animation, a fade route can get open over top, again, leaving a one-play touchdown. So whenever you're shaded underneath, you need to be aware that 1, you can get ran by for an easy touchdown, and 2, to prevent that, you need safety help over top. This will prevent one-play touchdowns. This will make your opponent have to play better offense, meaning you're probably just going to get more stops because your opponent isn't just easily scoring one-play touchdowns on you. Notice how easy it is to consistently score right here. Shaded down man is one of the most dangerous coverages to run, although when ran correctly with the appropriate help over top and with the appropriate usury and knowing the situation, it's really good. I want to make things super simple. Please just copy these coaching adjustments. I'm going to explain why we do each and every one. Let's click the right stick in on defense. You have to do this to begin every single game. Auto-foot defensive play call. Unless you really know what you're doing, you want to have this to be on. The reason for this is that it's going to align the strength of your defense automatically with the strength of your offense. Meaning if you're running some kind of unsymmetrical defense, like any kind of nickel, or even like a cover 6 or a cover 9, it's going to align appropriately. So auto-foot defensive play call on. Quarterback matchups has been bugged for the past few years. Leave this at balanced, or else you run the risk of your defense like being all flip-flopped. If you ever have issues like your zones or your players misaligning, this is probably why. Defensive motion response, I leave this at default, although some people will turn this on disabled. This is simply your zone defense realigning when they motion. You can, if you really don't like your defense moving at all, put it on disabled, but kind of up to you. Option read key. We want this on conservative, in my opinion. The reason for this is because some of the biggest plays in the option game that I go against online are when the quarterback keeps it, right? We've all had that happen to us. Put your option read key on conservative. The read key will always play the quarterback, meaning they have to hand it off into the teeth of your defense where your user and the rest of your defense is to go make the play. Option defense pitch key, we like to go aggressive right here. Reason for this is because when they run a speed option or they're running the second part of a triple option, which is a speed option, I want them to hold onto the ball at the QB so we can hit them, right? The biggest plays on speed options to me are when they pitch it outside to a halfback. If they keep it at the QB, they may get a few yards, but we're going to hit that QB, add some wear and tear to him. It's not going to be a good day for him. RPO read key, this is going to be read options on RPO plays, so RPO reads, conservative again. And then pass key, we're going to go aggressive. I think this one is a little bit bugged, a little bit weird. And I said aggressive. We want to go conservative, my fault, because we want the RPO pass key to play the pass coverage, okay? We want him playing the bubble screen, for example. Strip ball tackling, I leave both these at balanced. Conservative doesn't really make a ton of sense in my opinion. And aggressive, strip ball aggressive, you can just get face mask. Now, some people will say they've never gotten a face mask with being aggressive. If you want to run that risk, sure, I guess. It's just a face mask of 15 yards and automatic first. It's really risky. Aggressive tackling is just going to lead to more broken tackles. I don't want that. We just leave it at balance. Now, flats and hooks, I typically will leave these all default until throughout the game it's necessary. Third and 25, I'm probably going to drop my hooks to 20 or 25 and my flats to 20 or 25, right? But to begin a game, I'll probably leave these at default and just play it by ear. These are very situational. Safety depth and safety width are two that I'll change quite a bit. If I'm running any kind of cover 3 or cover 4, or really, if I'm running anything that isn't cover 2, I'm going to go close and I'm going to go pinch on these, right? It's going to help a ton with the seams. Safety midpoint, I don't touch this at all. These are the coaching adjustments you want as a base. Of course, throughout a game, you always have the flexibility to change these, or based on your defensive scheme, you might want to change them as well. But again, this is a great starting point. Now, there's a good chance you are already aware of the Texas 4-man stunt, which is incredibly good. If you're not, you should run the Texas 4-man stunt. Spread your defensive line. It's really, really good. What I want to showcase, though, is one of the biggest counters to that, which people will do, which is simply when they see this stunt on the field, they will just snap the ball and immediately run outside, and it's really hard to contain from this, right? You probably had that happen to you, or you do it to other people. Let's talk about 2 different ways to counter this, in my opinion. First and foremost, we actually have the ability to call a Texas 2-man stunt. Now, what I like to do is call this stunt when someone's rolling out on me a lot from the side opposite of their strong hand. So Jennings, the quarterback right here, he's right-handed, meaning a lot of people who use him will roll out to the right side. So I'm going to go left Tex 2-man. Then I'm going to contain right bumper, left bumper. Bang. Now we're getting a stunt in on this guy, but we're also containing this guy. Meaning if we try to instantly roll out, we can't. Right? We have a contain right there. But the left text means that we still have a little bit of a stunt happening here. Okay, we do it again. You see that stunt on the left side is happening. Now, it doesn't come free right there. It's not as good as a 4-man, but it is a way to do it. You can do this at the play call screen as well if you just hold down the play call that you're choosing and scroll down to it. Now, another thing you could do, though, is you can actually call a Tom 2-man. All right, so right here we see left Tom 2-man, and we also have a right Tom 2-man. Let's select that and see what that is. The Toms are defensive tackle stunts. So from here, we can contain this, and now our D tackles are stunting around each other, but our ends are both containing. Now, I'll be honest with you. The Tom 2-man is not nearly as good, and none of these stunts are very good in practice mode, by the way. It's not nearly as good as the Texas 4-man, but the stunts in general are better at getting pressure than standard pass rushes are, especially when you have fast guys stunting. So it's just something to keep in mind that it's something we can do to help a scrambling quarterback. Again, right here, 2 things. 1, we have bad stunters. You always want people who are fast and slim body types at the stunting positions. And 2, the Tom is just going to be worse than the Texas 4-man. But it is usually going to be better than a standard pass rush, all right? So keep that in mind. And then also in practice mode, these are just always going to be worse. But it's something that a lot of players have started doing just to help with contains and keeping quarterbacks in the pocket. And think about it. You wouldn't run one of these stunts all game. You would combine them. You'd go Texas 4-man. You'd go left Tex 2-man. You'd go Tom 2-man, right, and contain. And it's always keeping the quarterback, the user on defense, kind of off guard because they don't know what they're going to do with their quarterback, and that limits how fast they're able to process the defense you're in, how fast they're able to make reads, what to do with the QB, and it just keeps them on their toes a little bit, which is a huge advantage for us on offense, or I'm sorry, on defense. RPOs, incredibly annoying. Let's talk about 3 actual ways you can stop these. These are what all the best players in the world do to stop these RPOs, and they're all things that you can do from any defense, any playbook. I don't care what overall or skill level you are. All right, so first of all, we're talking about RPOs like the RPO alert bubble from Gun Trips tight end. Very good RPO. Now, on defense, what we want to call for tactic number 1 is going to be a cover 3 or a cover 4. Right here, we'll go cover 4 quarters. If we just call this, right, here's the play stock. We're going to snap this ball, and guess what? RPO is still pretty open, right? The team did a decent job of getting to it, but still open. Now, I'm going to press Y or triangle and shade my coverage underneath that's down on the right stick. Okay, cool. We have a hard flat on the left side. We know that hard flats play about 0 to 4 yards off the line of scrimmage, but he's still going to get blocked. He shedded right there, so that's decent, but he won't always shed. We call this play again, and you'll see that time he doesn't really shed as much. I'm able to gain more yards, etc., etc. So what do we need to do? Well, let's press Y or triangle again, shade that coverage underneath, and let's actually hop on this guy for a second and move him over the bubble receiver. Now we snap this ball, and it's a pick. It's a deflection. Should have been a pick six. We all see that. And it's consistent. So what's the tip here? We put a hard flat, move him inside, over top that player, and he's going to either pick the ball off, deflect it, or have the ball go through his hands, which if that happens, sorry, buddy, you're out of luck. But we go here again. Notice that this is consistent. There's the pick six that we're looking for. Awesome. Great job, okay? The next tactic to do this is actually to simply do that same idea, but instead choose somebody who's already inside, put them in a hard flat, right? So we can select him and then just choose the hard flat adjustment, or man him up onto that player, and we'll just, let's say we use her the safety, right? Because now we don't actually have to move anybody, and now we're able to make that play. Okay, that's tactic number 2. It's using the same idea from tactic number 1. We're just actually making it a little bit easier for ourselves, right? So we're here again, bang. Now we're able to play the run. He's there. Awesome sauce. Cool, cool, cool. All right. Now, the next way to do this is actually to simply call any kind of man coverage, because we're just going to have a player lined up right over top of him. And you can imagine how man coverage is just going to play the RPO very well, right? Bang. He's there. Awesome. That's pretty easy. So the 3 ways, I have a bonus way, by the way, I'm going to talk about in a second. The 3 ways we can defend this right now. The option number 1, move a flat defender in front of the bubble guy. 2, put a flat, or take a guy who's on the inside already on defense and put him into a flat zone or man him up. 3, just call man coverage. Option 4, this is one of my favorite things to do because it leaves a lot on you. There's a lot of skill gap being able to do this. Is when you see an RPO, let's say you're using this guy, right? You see an RPO, you're going to just get out there with your user to slow it down, right? One of the most underrated players on defense is your user. Now, of course, there's counters to this on offense. They can see you're doing it. But a lot of people, when they think the RPO is open, they're just going to snap throw it, right? They won't even make the read. They'll just throw it like they're blind. And what we're able to do is go over there with our user and just make the play. That's not the best way to do it consistently, but when you get caught with your pants down, this is a great way to be like, oh, RPO, RPO, RPO. Boom, we're there, and we're able to help make the play with our user. That is a huge thing to be able to help yourself out. And that tip of just making the play with your user and recognizing it is one of the biggest tips I can give you for anything, for stopping anything, is just get your user involved. It's huge. He's the best player on defense. Your user is. That means you're the best player on defense. This is a very advanced concept, but if you get this down, I promise you, you're going to get more stops on defense. The idea is switch sticking to a flat zone, okay? Switch stick to a flat zone. So let's break this down into 2 different things. First of all, what is the switch stick? All right, great question, Kenny. The switch stick is basically a defensive mechanic that allows you to user one player at the snap and then get to another coverage defender mid-play. Let's see what that looks like in reality. So we're going to snap this ball. I'm on this player in the middle. You see number 33. I've already switched it, actually. But you see I'm on this guy in the middle. Well, I want to now take control of this high safety because I think a route is going to attack his area. So I'm going to flick the right stick up, and now I'm on this player. Now, the player I started on, he goes back to his original area, and then I'm now in control of this guy. And watch what happens here. I'm going to move this safety all the way down, and now I want to go to the corner on the left side. So I'm going to flick the right stick to the top left, and you see I'm there, and the player I was on goes back to his original assignment. Right here, I want to go down to my flat defender. Right, we're here, I switch stick, bang. Now, why would you want to switch stick? If you see a route attacking an area of the field that's open, you would want to switch stick onto the nearest defender to take away that open route, right? It's a really good way to bait defenders or bait offensive players, right? Now, there's a couple of rules with switch stick. 1, to switch stick, you need to be on a coverage defender. So you can't be blitzing. If you are blitzing, there's a workaround for it using the D-pad. We're not going to focus too much on that. So rule number 1, you have to be on a coverage defender. Rule number 2 is that the offensive play call has to be a pass play. You can use RPOs to switch stick on as well. Rule number 3 is that you're only able to switch stick when the QB has the ball. If the QB throws it and you try to switch stick, you're just going to hit stick instead. All right? So just keep that in mind. Those are the couple of rules. You can also only switch stick onto other coverage defenders. Now, the next part of that, I said switch stick onto who? Flat defenders. It's very good. Why? Because flat defenders are usually pretty stagnant. They'll play, in this case, it's going to be a hard flat. But when we switch stick onto him, not start on him, but switch stick onto him, we can get really versatile with them. Let me show you what I mean. We go here. Well, I'm a switch stick onto him, and now I'm able to run in different areas. Okay, right there is not the greatest example ever, but by switch sticking onto flat zone defenders, we're actually able to take away some of the most pesky routes in the game. Think about this. Who's the best player in the game to defend a crosser or a corner? It's probably going to be the flat zone defender. Like you see right there, we get hit before we're able to throw, but we're able to switch it onto a flat zone defender. Let's say I see a route attacking the inside of the field, or a route concept attacking inside really heavily. Well, guess what? I'm going to switch stick over here quickly, and now I'm able to break back inside. I could also do that on the other side of the field. What do I mean by that? Well, let's say over here on the left, whoops, let's say over here on the left, I know that there's going to be a drag route coming. Well, I'm able to switch it over there, and now I'm able to get that player down and make a really aggressive play on this drag coming across. I know my opponent's going to throw it, right? Maybe they've thrown it a few times. Maybe I just predict the play call correctly, etc., etc. That's one of the coolest things that we're able to do is simply switch stick onto these flats and make them play in a way that the opposing player would not expect, right? We go here, bang, I'm over here on the flat, and now I'm helping defend this tight end angle route. I'm using two controllers right now, so bear with me a little bit, right? If you ever see yourself switch stick and you get that kind of like hit stick animation where you kind of switch stick and your player performs like almost like a pass rush move, it's because you're flicking the right stick too aggressively. Just keep that in mind. Now, switch sticking onto a bunch of defenders is incredibly good. And what I mean by that is like deep blue defenders, you can use that and undercut a ball like that. Again, two controllers, you get the idea though. With that being said, I think the least risky one to start using is switch sticking onto a flat defender because you're not costing yourself a ton and you can make a lot of big plays. Whereas when you switch stick onto a deep blue defender like this, there is a lot of risk in this because you could overshoot it like I did right there and give up a potential one-play touchdown. With that being said, though, you want to switch stick on defense. Really quick, just to show my settings for switch stick, you should be switch stick delay slight or none. This is purely the setting for how quickly you can switch stick after the ball is snapped. This doesn't affect mid play at all, besides immediately after the ball is snapped. So I keep it a slight. You could go none there. Do not put it at moderate. Do not put it at disabled. Switch sticking, though, is a huge deal. Please do it. Please copy and just begin by switch sticking onto flats and trying to make plays, right? Because a lot of people will struggle against it. If you got value from this bad boy, you need to check out Civil.gg. We have full defensive schemes over there and offensive schemes. You'll unlock everything for 30% off when you use code Civil30, and you'll be joining over 2,000 active members who are actually winning more games with our stuff. Link to that is top of the description. I'll see you guys over there.